Ever wonder why? Despite saving diligently every month, your money somehow never feels like it's enough. You're doing everything right, putting cash aside, avoiding debt-tracking expenses, yet somehow it's like running on a treadmill that's slowly speeding up. Could it be that your money is growing in numbers but shrinking in power? Let's uncover the hidden forces quietly eating away at your wealth. Think about it. You deposit $100 every month. Your bank account shows a neat, ever-growing number, and it feels like progress. But while that number rises, the prices of groceries, rent, utilities, and even coffee are creeping upward too. Slowly, silently, inflation, the invisible thief, erodes what your money can actually buy. You might be saving for decades, yet each year, your purchasing power is quietly shrinking, unnoticed until one day you wake up and realize your progress barely covers a fraction of what you expected. Here's a shocking truth. A bank account paying 1% interest won't double your money for roughly 72 years. 72 years. By the time your balance doubles, prices will have shifted multiple times, and the growth you see is mostly an illusion. You're climbing a down escalator. It feels like forward motion, but relative to the world around you, you're sliding backward. Every year, your purchasing power starts weaker. This is why so many retirees find that despite careful saving, their money doesn't stretch as far as they imagined. Fortunately, there's a simple shortcut to see if time is your friend or your enemy. It's called the Rule of 72. Divide 72 by your annual return, and the result is roughly how many years it takes for your money to double. Want a quick example? At 10% annual return, 70 to 10 equals 7.2 years per doubling. At 6%, it's 12 years. At 3%, 24 years. At 1%, a lifetime. Suddenly, the invisible forces become visible. Even small changes in your return can completely transform your financial trajectory. Let's meet two investors, Maya and Ethan. Maya starts at 24, investing $250 monthly at 10% for 32 years. Ethan waits until 34, investing $450 monthly at 10% for 22 years. Guess what? Maya ends up with nearly $600,000. Ethan with just $360,000, despite contributing more per month. Why? Because Maya's money had extra dueling cycles. Time, not sheer cash, is the silent superpower that multiplies wealth. Starting early allows your money to grow on itself, compounding in the background, while most people think more contributions are the answer. Let's break it down. A bank account earning 1% doubles in 72 years, basically a lifetime for one doubling. Government bonds at 5%, cut it to 14 years. Stocks historically return about 10%, which is roughly 7 years per doubling. Real estate averages around 8%, close to 9 years per doubling. Plus it allows leverage your returns grow on both your money and borrowed capital. Even high-risk assets like crypto can theoretically double in months, but volatility makes them unpredictable. So the question becomes, are you planting your money where it can actually grow over time, or just hoping for luck? Here's a truth few face. Starting late costs more than small contributions. Take Maya and Ethan again. Maya starts at 24, Ethan at 34. Even though Ethan invests more per month, Maya ends up with almost double. Why? Extra doubling cycles. That's the secret weapon of time. Every extra year allows your returns to generate their own returns, compounding invisibly in the background. Delaying is like planting a tree 10 years later. You can water it more, but you'll never get those missing years of growth back. Even the perfect portfolio can fail if you forget one factor: inflation. Your money might be doubling on paper, but if inflation is eating 3 to 4% annually, your real gains shrink. A 6% return sounds good, but with 4% inflation, your real growth is 2%. That turns a 12-year doubling into a 36-year one. Suddenly, the numbers on your statements aren't as reassuring. It's the quiet thief, stretching your timeline while you feel safe. So, real success isn't just doubling your money, it's beating inflation on purpose. Here's a tool anyone can use. List your accounts: savings, bonds, stocks, real estate, crypto. Write down the expected return for each. Apply the rule of 72 for nominal doubling time. Adjust mentally for inflation to get real doubling time. Now compare to your goals. If your money doubles slower than your retirement or life plans, it's time to rethink. Small adjustments like reallocating assets, reinvesting dividends, or cutting fees can drastically accelerate your compounding over decades. Here's the ultimate insight. Money can be replaced, but time cannot. Starting early, even with small contributions, produces a compounding effect money alone can't match. Every month, every year, each decision matters. The earlier you plant, the more cycles your money experiences. That's why young investors who start with modest amounts often surpass older investors who invest more but start later. Time isn't just money, it's the multiplier of all wealth. Once you understand the power of time and doubling, managing your finances becomes a science, not a guess. You don't need to be a Wall Street analyst. A simple system works. List your accounts, note expected returns, apply the rule of 72, adjust for inflation, and compare to your goals. This single exercise shows instantly if your money is moving fast enough or quietly losing ground. Awareness is half the battle. Once you see the numbers clearly, you can act deliberately. It's not always about chasing the highest returns. Sometimes the fastest way forward is plugging the small leaks, cutting unnecessary fees, avoiding repeated withdrawals, reinvesting dividends. Each tiny adjustment compounds over decades, quietly accelerating your journey. The numbers don't lie. What seems small today can be enormous in 10, 20, or 30 years. Ask yourself, which leaks are silently stealing my future wealth? And how can I stop them now? True wealth isn't the number on your bank statement, the shiny car, or a fancy house. It's the quiet power of compounding over time. The steady growth that multiplies in the background while life goes on. Real wealth is freedom, options, and the confidence that your money works for you, not the other way around. It's built by planting seeds, starting early, and making consistent, deliberate decisions. Numbers grow silently. Patience multiplies them exponentially. Here's my challenge to you. Grab a pen, open a calculator, or do it in your head. Take each account, divide 72 by your expected return, adjust for inflation, and see how long it really takes your money to double. Is it fast enough to meet your dreams? If not, it's time to rethink, shift investments, cut fees, or start early. Every month counts. Every decision shapes your timeline. Time is the asset no one can buy, but the one that compounds the most. Remember, compounding isn't flashy. It doesn't announce itself with luxury cars or huge bank balances. It works quietly, invisibly, multiplying your efforts day after day. Time, consistency, and direction are your true wealth builders. Start early, stay steady, plug leaks, and let the invisible power of compounding carry you to a future you can actually afford. If this video changed the way you think about money, hit like, subscribe, and comment below with your doubling numbers. Let's see how fast your money is really growing.